Welcome to Mary's Creative Decor. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have this poster board from the Dollar Tree. I have 3 of them, and I want to use these 3 pieces of poster board to make a valance for my bedroom. So I want to start by opening up the cardboard, and I want my valance to be 74 by 12. So 74 inches long and 12 inches high. So I want to make my marks on the cardboard at 12 inches down, and I should be able to cut it twice. Now I'll take my ruler and connect those lines. Now I'll take my utility knife and cut along the lines. Then I'll take my cardboard, fold it along the scored edge, use my utility knife to cut that last layer of paper. Then I'll do the same thing with the 12-inch pieces of cardboard. But this time, instead of cutting it off, I'll just fold it on the scored edge and glue the 2 pieces together. And I'll be using my Elmer school glue to do this. I'll set it aside to dry. I'll put something heavy on top for a couple of hours. I'll do one more like this. That will give me my 74 inches. The third one, I'll completely separate them so that I can use them on the back side to reinforce the pieces. Now it's time to make the sides for my valance. Now my valance is 12 inches long, and I need it to be away from the wall at least 5 inches. So I'm gonna cut off the top of this box. This is what I'm going to use. So I'm gonna cut this off. I'll measure 6 inches down, and I will double up the piece. I did the trifold even though one end is a little bit shorter, but that's okay. And I'm going to use what I have left of my glue to glue it down. So all of the school glue is gone, so I'm going to use this Lock-It glue, and this will glue my box down. I'll make 2 of these. I'll set these aside, let them dry for about 2 hours also, and we'll come back to continue with the project. I'm back and I have all 4 of my pieces. Now it's time to connect all 4. Now each one of the larger pieces measured 38 inches. I need 74, so we're going to tape them together. I'm going to use my masking tape to hold them. Now I'm going to take those 2 or 3 inches that was cut from the bottom and I'm going to reinforce my seams. I'll wrap them around the seams and I'll use the lock-it glue to hold it in place. To get an even better hold, I'll use my hot glue gun and glue stick. Now it's time to add the side panels. I'll use my hot glue gun to hold it in place. Once I have a good connection, I'll use the hot glue to reinforce it on the inside corners. I'll also take my masking tape to add to the seam. This will allow my hot glue to dry and I'll have an even better hold. Now I just want to flip it over so you can see what it looks like and we'll be ready for the next step. Normally you will be adding your foam, but I don't have foam, but I have a lot of quilting batting. So what we're going to do is double up on the quilt batting and we're going to use this in place of the foam for padding. So I'm going to fold it over, double it up, and cut it to size. Now it's time to upholster the headboard. Well, I found this curtain. It was $12.99. It is 84 inches long by 59 inches wide, and this is what we're going to use for fabric. Now, I'm going to cut away the grommets on the top and take the hem out, and we'll be ready to cut it down to size. I'm back and I've taken off the grommets from the top of the curtain, and I also took the hem out. Now I want to cut it to size. I'm going to fold my curtain 3 times over, and that should give me the perfect depth for my valance. Now that I have my pieces cut, I'm going to have to glue 2 of them together to fit the 76-inch piece because it has to be another 12 inches long to go around the side so that I don't have to sew. As you can see, I'm using hot glue to glue it together. Now that I have my fabric pieces glued together, I want to take the center seam of the fabric and add it to the center of my valance. Once that's done, I can start to staple down my fabric to the underside of my valance, going from side to side, pulling my fabric as tight as possible. Once I get to the side or the corner, I'm going to cut away the excess material, pull the fabric and the batting over, and staple it down. With the corners, I cut away any excess material and batting, pull it inward, and staple it down. So let me just flip it over so you can see what the valance look like. I'm going to take a moment to go get my iron, and I want to iron this center seam and make sure that it is smooth, and I'll be back. Now that I've ironed out the seam on my valance, I have these upholstery tacks. Now I don't want to use them for tufting, but I do want to use them for a design element. So to use them, the first thing I want to do is find my center. Once I find my center, I'll use a safety pin and mark it. And then I'll measure out 5 inches over on both sides and add a second pin. I'll do 5 inches between each pin. Once I have that marked, I'll come down 6 inches because my board is 12 inches deep, and that's my center. From my first center mark, again, I'll add my push pin and then a push pin every 5 inches over toward both ends. Before adding my push pins, I make sure that I'm down 6 inches from the top, which would be the center. Now that my upholstery tacks are in, here's a look at the back of my valance. Everywhere that there was a seam, I did go ahead and add a piece of cardboard. This is to make sure that my piece is sturdy because it is long. And now I want to add on my brackets. The brackets that I'm using today is a regular shelf bracket. Now this is the 6-inch shelf bracket, and I'll be adding them to either end of my valance. And now I'm about to add my brackets with these 1/2-inch screws to hold it into the cardboard. I did add another piece of cardboard to make sure that it is thick enough. So here's a look at how my valance would look on the wall after the studs have been added, and here the brackets are on the sides. So if you want to see how it looks on the wall, stay tuned and I'll be right back. Before we hang our valances, remember the fabric that I cut off? Well, I decided I'm going to make a pillow. So I have this pillow and I'm going to make it the cover to fit it without sewing anything. So first thing I want to do is turn my fabric face down or face to face. And I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to glue down the seams. Once I have my dimensions set, I'll cut away any excess material and glue down the third seam. The fourth seam I'll leave open so that I can slide my pillow into place. I then take my shears and cut off the pointed edge on each corner. This will allow my fabric to fold down easily without being bulky in the corners. Now that I've turned my fabric right side out and my corners are straight, it's time to stuff my pillow on the inside. Now that I have my pillow inside, I want to take both sides' raw edges, pin it together. Once my pins are in place, I'll take the hot glue gun and go right along the edge where the pins are. Once the glue hardens, I'll remove the pins. And this is how my pillow turned out. If you want to see it on the bed, make sure you come back next week. Now it's time for the reveal. I think my valances turned out really lovely and will look great in the room. Now, if you want to see how the room turns out, you gotta keep watching because I'm going to redo the entire bedroom. So, for very little money, the cost of a $12.99 curtain and 3 poster boards with some cardboard boxes, for less than $20, I have beautiful, beautiful window design. So if you've enjoyed this video and its content, it's time to subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell so you'll know when I upload new material. I want to say to you all, thank you for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless. And I'll see you in my next video.